Hello everyone, this is Jack. Well, in this video I'll cover 5 tips to grow lots of blueberries like these. These blueberries are 30 pounds and they came from just one row of blueberries, which is about 30 plants. So let me share how you can grow lots of blueberries like this. So let's get started. Tip number 1, the variety of blueberry. Now, depending on the region that you live in, you might want to go with the northern highbush variety or a southern highbush variety. Northern highbush variety requires more chill time. They require medium to high chill time, which is above 400 hours. So if you live in northern states in the United States, if you live in Canada, northern highbush variety is perfect for you. However, if you live in California, Texas, or other states where it gets warmer in the summers and it doesn't get as cold in the winters, you want to get low chill variety, and that's what we have here. These southern highbush varieties require low chill hours, which is 200 or less hours of chill time. Now, the southern highbush variety that I really like is Star. They grow really nice big berries and they are very sweet as well.
So let me grab these blueberries. Here you go. Quite a bit of blueberries from just one bunch. All of these plants are full of berries, and look at the size of these berries. These berries are just absolutely massive and delicious. And the best part, these berries are organic.
Tip number 2, soil preparation. Now, if there's one plant you really need to prepare the soil for, it's blueberries. You need to add proper amount of compost, fertilizer, and sulfur to make the soil acidic to grow blueberries.
To prepare for planting blueberries, dig a nice size hole at least 3 feet by 3 feet. Then for each plant, add 1 cubic foot of compost, add half cubic foot of wood chips into the soil, and if you have clay soil, add half a pound of gypsum. Use chicken manure fertilizer and add about half a pound to 1 pound per plant. You can also grow blueberries in containers. I prefer at least 15-gallon size containers to grow blueberries. Fill your containers with half native soil and half compost. You do not need wood chips in containers.
Now, when we first planted blueberries here, I went with a shovel or a ripper behind a tractor and I dug a trench in the ground which was 18 inches deep. Then we added compost and we also added wood chips into the ground. Wood chips naturally make the soil acidic when they degrade, and they also add organic matter in the soil as well as they degrade. We also added gypsum because we have clay soil, and gypsum helps to break up the clay soil for roots to grow really well. And the most important ingredient, we added sulfur. We added elemental sulfur, which is approved for organic farming and gardening. We incorporate that into our rows, and sulfur starts to work in just 4 to 5 months to lower the pH of the soil. So I recommend preparing your soil at least 3 to 4 months in advance before planting blueberries. Now, if you want to plant blueberries in containers, or you want to get a head start on planting blueberries and plant them right away, you can also buy soil acidifiers. You can add them to water and water your plants that way. That will help to lower the pH level of the soil as well. Now that leads us to tip number 3. Blueberries love acidic soil. They love soil pH of 4.5 to 5.0. In order to lower the pH level of your soil, you can add sulfur into the ground like I mentioned before. You can also buy soil acidifiers that you can add into your water and then water your soil that way. Or you can just use plain old vinegar. You can use a cup of vinegar to a gallon of water and keep watering your soil that way, and keep checking the pH level of your soil. And once you hit 5.0, that's when you want to stop. Now, you also want to pay attention to the pH of your water. Now, most water is neutral, which is 7.0, which is our water here. So if you keep watering your blueberry plants, it will keep raising the pH level of your soil. So keep checking the pH level of your soil often. I recommend every 2 weeks. And if the pH starts to rise, you can use soil acidifiers, or you can use vinegar to lower the pH level of your soil. Now, tip number 4, watering. Now, blueberries love moist soil. They don't like to be dried out. They can withstand dryness for about a day or 2, but if you go longer than that, they will not make it, and at least they will not produce good blueberries. So in order to produce big bushy blueberry plants that grow lots of large blueberries, you have to keep your soil moist at all times. However, every week or every other week, I use my soil moisture meter and I check soil from 6 inches to 12 inches to make sure it's always moist and it doesn't dry out. If the topsoil dries out a little bit, that's fine, but you always want to keep the soil underneath 6 inches moist for blueberries at all times.
To retain moisture, you can also mulch your blueberry plants. Surround your blueberry plants with wood chips or straw, and that will help in retaining moisture and also in adding organic matter into the soil.
Now, how much you want to water your blueberry plants depends on your temperature and the type of soil that you have. Now, here in California, we have clay soil and we don't have extreme temperature. We don't get way too hot or way too cold in winters. We get up to 100 degrees or 104 in summer. We get up to 32 degrees in winters. So in winters, when it rains, I don't water at all. In spring and in fall, I water every other day or every 2 days. And in summer, when it gets to 90 degrees or even in triple digits in 104, 105 degrees, I water every single day. Now, how much water do I provide? I have drip lines that have emitters that produce half a gallon of water per hour. And I have emitters every 12 inches, every foot. And I water for 2 hours. So each emitter provides 1 gallon of water every foot. So that's how much I'm watering. I also have a video on how often you should be watering your plants depending on multiple factors. So check that out if you're interested. Now, if you follow these tips, you can grow lots of blueberries and very large blueberries as well. And when your plants are producing a lot of large blueberries, guess who's interested? The birds. Now, in order to deter the birds, I use these owl decoys. And I also have an owl decoy that flaps wings in the wind. Now, these owl decoys work really well in order to deter the birds. I also have our dog Lily, which loves to run after birds and chase the birds. So she works really well to deter the birds as well. And the good thing is that Lily doesn't eat blueberries. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you got lots of information to grow lots of blueberries like this. And I'll see you in another video.